Hi guys! So last week we talked about subtracting with two-digit numbers, and this week we're going to move on to subtracting with three-digit numbers. So three-digit numbers have a hundreds place, a tens place, and a ones place. Okay? So you could make up any number. If I put 3 hundreds, 2 tens, and 4 ones, I have the number 324. Okay, if I have the number, let's say 785, this is a three-digit number. I have 7 hundreds, 8 tens, and 5 ones. Or let's say 392. Here I have 3 hundreds, 9 tens, and 2 ones. Okay, so your smallest one, your ones are always going to be here, and then tens, hundreds, and it can get bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, let's do one more. So let's say I have 894. Here I have 8 hundreds, 9 tens, and 4 ones. Okay, so this is how we're going to think about it this week. We're going to think about it in terms of place value blocks. So hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, so if I have a subtraction problem, I can use place value blocks to draw it out and help me think about regrouping. Okay, so I'm going to draw myself a little box. And if you guys are using some kind of place value blocks, so remember a while ago we talked about how you could use anything. You could use hair clips, you could use dice, you could use whatever you wanted. You can do that if you want. You can use place value blocks. I'm going to draw it out, so if you're going to draw it out, this is what you could make it look like. So I've drawn myself a space for hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, and I'm only going to draw out the top number because I don't want to confuse myself. Okay, so I have 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 7 ones. Okay, so I'm going to draw that out. 200, 3 tens, and 7 ones. So remember, the important thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure that your hundreds, tens, and ones look different so that you can keep track of them. Okay, so I'm using big squares for my hundreds, and I'm using tens rods and little circles for my ones. So now we've drawn out 237. So now we're going to subtract. We're going to focus on this part, subtracting 143. And I want us to remember that now that we're starting to get older, it's going to be very helpful to always start in the ones, okay? I always want you to start subtracting with your smallest place, okay? So start in the ones. So in the ones, we have 7 minus 3, okay? So I have to ask myself, do I have enough? I do, right? I have plenty. I can take away 3 from 7, so I go 1, 2, 3. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left over. Okay, so that took care of my ones. Didn't have to regroup. Now let's look at our tens. We have 3 tens, but we need to subtract 4. So do I have enough tens to take away 4? No, I only have 3 here, right? So this is when we need to regroup. We need to take one of these hundreds. And here's the secret about these hundreds is 100 is really 10 tens all smooshed together. So inside of this hundreds block are 10 tens rods. So what we're going to do is we are going to take one of our hundreds cubes and we're going to break it up into 10 tens. Okay? So we're going to take this, we're going to move it over, and now I have 10 more tens that I need to add. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now this 100 is gone because I moved it over here. I broke it up into 10 tens. Just like we did last week, we took a tens rod and we broke it up into 10 ones. You do the exact same thing. You can take 100 and break it up into 10 tens. Okay, so now do I have enough to subtract 4? I do, right? So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see how many we have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I had 9 left over. And now I move over to my hundreds. So I have 100 minus 100, so I have to take that away. And then I have 0 left in my hundreds place. So my answer is 94. Okay, let's do our next one down here. So I'm going to draw myself my place value block, my place value area, my little 100 spot, and my 10 spot, and my 1 spot. Okay, so now remember, I'm just going to draw out this top number. So I'm going to draw out 381. So I have 3 hundreds, 8 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have 1 1. Okay, so now I'm going to start in my ones. Remember, we're always going to start in our ones. So in our ones column, we have 1 minus 4. So they want us to take away 4. Can we take away 4 from this? No, right? We don't have enough. So what we need to do is the same thing we did last week. We need to take one of these 10s, and we need to break it up into its 10 ones. Remember, there are 10 ones inside of a 10. Okay? So we're going to move it over, and we're going to break it up into its 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have 10. I took my tens rod, I smooshed it over, and I broke it up into the ones that are inside. So now, do I have enough to subtract 4? I do, right? So let's take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left over. Now I move over here. In my tens column, I have 8 minus 2. Can I take away 2? I can, right? I don't have to regroup. So take away 2, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over, because remember, this 10 doesn't exist anymore. We broke it all up into its ones. So we have 5 left. And then in our hundreds, we have 3 minus 1. So if I take away 1, I have 2 left over, so my answer is 257. Let's try one more together. And this one is a word problem, so let me read it to you. It says, Mrs. Olson has 345 cat stickers in her classroom. She gives away 172 cat stickers to students who are respectful. How many does she have left? So, who is this problem about? It's about Mrs. Olson. What is this problem about? It's about stickers. And what happens? So, I'm giving away cat stickers, and I need to know how many I have left after I give them all away. And we know if I'm giving stickers away, that means that my pile is going to get smaller, and that means I'm subtracting. So I start with 345. So at the beginning of the year, I had 345 cat stickers to give away. Then whenever I saw someone was being respectful, I gave them away, and so I gave away 172 cat stickers. So I need to subtract that because I don't have those anymore. My question is, how many stickers does she have left? So we're going to use place value blocks in order to help us figure out the answer. So I'm going to make myself a box with a space for hundreds, tens, and ones, and then I'm going to draw out my starting number. So my starting number is 345. Okay, so I'm going to draw out 3 hundreds, 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So now I can subtract. So in my ones place, I'm subtracting 5 minus 2. Okay, I'm taking 2 ones away. Do I have enough? I do. So if I cross 2 out, I have 3 left over. Okay, in my tens place, that's the middle one, I have 4 minus 7. So 4 minus 7. Do I have enough to take away 7 from here? I don't, right? So I'm going to need to regroup. So that means I'm going to take one of my hundreds, and I'm going to move it over here to my tens place, and I'm going to break it up into its 10 tens. Okay, remember, inside the 100 is 10 tens. I'm going to break it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I have 14 tens. Okay, now do I have enough to take away 7? I do, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now left over we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now over here we have 300s minus 100. So if I take away 100, I have 1 left over. So my answer is 173. So the most important thing to remember when we're subtracting using place value is that we can always take from the next place and break it up into 10. So if you don't have enough ones, take one of your tens, move it over, and break it up into 10 ones. If you don't have enough tens, take one of your hundreds, move it over, and break it up into 10 tens. Okay? So you guys are going to try some of this on your own. If you guys need help or if you have questions, you can send me a message on It's Learning, or you can have mom or dad or grandma or whoever reach out to me. Okay, guys? Good luck.